Hey everyone, welcome to 20-Second Grindhouse, where we review the crappiest movies that I can find on the internet for you. Today we have Slumber Party Massacre, a movie about 30-year-olds running around playing teenagers, getting killed by a guy with a drill. That sounds very interesting, but this is nothing. Nothing happens in this. So, without further ado, let's get into this. We start off immediately with the title card, as we see a newspaper telling us that there was a recently mass murder and the murderer is still at large. Pretty much setting the whole movie up. We then meet our main character as she gets dressed, and then we see her completely naked, and yeah. Her parents are then going off for vacation, so she'll be alone for the week, of course. And then as she goes to school, she throws away all of her stuffed animals and dolls. And then as we pan over, someone steals the dolls from the trash, kind of setting up a whole villain there. We then meet more characters as they're trying to figure out who to ask out to the dance. One of them then tries to ask out the female janitor, and he massively gets dumped like that. He then fails. The girl is then pulled inside the van and then killed by the drill. We then cut to the girls' basketball game, and they just really suck playing at basketball. The boys ogle all the sweaty girls. Ew. And then we then get an extended shower scene, which is about the only interesting part of the whole movie. And then the girls are planning to have a slumber party, and we get lots of trash talking. The girls then leave, and then we get a view of the killer and a view of the dead body as Linda walks all by herself around a deserted school. Now all the doors are somehow locked, and she is approached by the killer and stabbed, but then she keeps going. She hides and slowly bleeds to death, and then she is then killed as the girl is then stalked by her friend, and she flips over. Rachel arrives at home and is almost drilled in the head by her roommate as she is hanging up. She's like making a peephole in the door, and then she almost gets drilled in the head, so you think it's supposed to be the killer. More boring stuff happens pretty much, bunch of pointless dialogue scenes. The neighbor then scares her accidentally, and then we then cut to the boys planning to go to the slumber party and scare the girls. The girls then arrive with beer and weed, the ingredients to a wonderful slumber party. And then 1980s teenage girls gossip, and then more boring scenes ensue. Just from the title of that movie, it should be, I should expect something interesting to happen, but no, nothing. The boys then arrive to scare them, but they don't because they watch the girls get into their pajamas and strip naked and stuff. The girls then give us more gossip that is followed by more pointless scenes, and then the girl goes outside to get the firewood and is scared by the neighbor who is killing snails with a cleaver. Like, she picks up the wood and then there's a snail there, and then he just cleaves it. It's like really weird. He is then killed, LOL. Never anything to do. They never even do anything with the wood when they bring it inside. It was just a pointless thing to set up a pointless scare. The girl then sees the killer outside, and then sees her doll that she threw away from this morning. And then they go outside to check the garbage, missing the killer outside. We then get sisters being mean to each other about who gets to use the Playgirl magazines. They're fighting over Playgirl. The days before the internet. More boring scenes ensue. The power eventually then goes out, and then they all go out to change the fuses and find that their friend Jeff, once again, there's more pointless scenes. We then cut to Boo Boo or Bobo, I think that's what they call him, who shows up for some fun that we never get to see. More pointless scenes ensue, and then Bobo's body is then found decapitated, and his girlfriend is then killed. They answer the door for pizza, and the guy's eyes are drilled out. The killer then cuts the phone lines, of course, and then they discuss what to do. Their idea is to run outside with a knife and stab the killer, which this doesn't work for one of them. And then one of the guys then begs to be let in to Valerie's house, and then he gets killed. We then see all the killer's victims. The girl they then eat the pizza that the pizza guy had been having, that the pizza guy had when he was killed. The killer gets another victim, Jackie, then gets her throat slit with the drill, and this movie still sucks. This movie is stupid and slow in this. The girls are then in their rooms, and then the killer shows up behind them. And these are the only girls that actually do anything against the killer the whole movie. The killer still gets one victim. The killer then walks around looking for more victims. Two girls discover a body in the fridge. The killer then lays down under a blanket, waiting for more victims. The coach from earlier has a standoff with him, drill versus poker, and then they get him down, but he comes back up and then gets the coach. The killer starts stalking. Oh, my bad. The killer starts talking, saying that they're pretty weird, saying they're very pretty, which is weird. It is now drill versus machete, and the girl then dismembers him. He is now somehow still alive, but finally dies with a machete through the gut, and then the movie ends. My basic review of this movie is that it sucks. Nothing interesting happens. There is only I shouldn't say nothing interesting. There's a few interesting scenes, but the bad outweigh the interesting by a lot, so I can't say it's interesting. Yeah, it's basically just 20 minutes in, they get to the party, and then for the next almost an hour, it's just running around the house waiting for the killer to get there. It's not very interesting. This movie also has 2 sequels. So, yeah, they managed to pull 2 more stories out of this. Yeah. I'm introducing a new segment to this show where I review the crappiest movie that I've seen all week. Like, I wrote that review like a month ago or something. This is the crappiest movie I've seen all week. It's a dog movie called Kayla, and it's the story of a boy and a dog as they enter a dog sled race. Sounds really stupid. It is really stupid. It's an hour of 30 minutes of just pointlessness, and it takes an hour to get to the actual dog race. The other things are just pointless scenes thrown in there and too many plots to count. Yeah. Also, another thing for this little tiny mini review, I'm not going to make episodes into these. Yeah, I'm not going to make these into episodes, and they're not usually going to be like horror exploitation movies. They're usually just going to be like dog movies, dog and family Christian movies, stuff like that. Family adventure movies. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll have a surprise episode for tomorrow because it's April Fool's Day. So, anyway, please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.